I'm Matea Thompson, and today I'm going to be giving a toast speech about Wild Bill Hickok. He kind of was a legendary gunfighter that kind of brought fame to Deadwood, South Dakota. We'll be talking about his early life, his many jobs that he had, how he got famous, and his death. So to begin with, we're going to begin with his early life. He was born on May 27th, 1837 to William and Polly Hickok. He had 4 brothers and 2 sisters. His real name was actually James Butler Hickok, and he received his nickname Wild Bill Hickok. And I've researched it and found 2 ways. One of the first ways was from the Army. He settled a dispute between 2 men, and a woman yelled, "Good for you, Wild Bill," and it kind of just stuck, and that's how he got his nickname. And I also found that it said he received his nickname from Buffalo Bill Cody when he was in the Wild West show with him. His parents were actually helped out in the Underground Railroad, and this is where Bill actually engaged in his first hostile gunfire, pretty much fell in love with it, and by the time he was age 14, he was a outstanding marksman. By the time he was 18, he was actually starting his jobs. He had many different kinds of jobs, and he traveled a lot. One of his first jobs was a peace officer in Kansas. He was then worked in the Pony Express in Nebraska. He was even a wagon master for the Army in Missouri, and he was a scout for General George Custer. He also became a sheriff for Hays City, Kansas. This was kind of a town that was chaotic that he kind of brought peace to, but within months the townspeople kind of questioned on how he brought peace to the town because he had so many killings within a month, but Bill had claimed that he never killed a man that didn't deserve it. He was then a city marshal in Abilene, Kansas. This was another chaotic town that he kind of brought peace to, but then within months gambling and liquor took over, and it was said that Hickok allowed the town to be overrun with gamblers and conmen, and the townspeople actually dismissed him from the job. There are several ways that Wild Bill Hickok became famous. One of them was through the McCandless Massacre. 3 men came to Bill to settle a debt, and it ended up in a gunfire battle where Bill Hickok actually killed all 3 men. And exaggerated tales spread all over, and that's kind of how he gained some of his fame. He was also in 2 Wild West shows. One was his very own, called The Daring Buffalo Chase of the Plains. It failed dramatically. He tried to do it on his own, and he only earned about $100. So then he joined the Scouts of the Prairies show, which was with Buffalo Bill Cody, but it failed because gambling and drinking took over his life. So he decided to go to Wyoming, and he married Agnes Thatcher. After a while, though, this is what led to his death, was he decided to go to Deadwood, South Dakota. He actually wanted to get out of the fame life and move to the quiet life, but gambling and liquor took over his life. And actually on August 1st, 1876, he went into a saloon to play a game of poker, and a guy named Jack McCall lost to Bill, and Bill took all of his money but gave back enough money so that the man could eat, and said that he can't come back until he paid his dues. The very next day, though, Bill went back into the salon to play more poker, and the biggest mistake he did was he actually sat with his back to the bar and to the door. And McCall noticed this and went into the saloon and shot Bill in the back of the head and said, "Take that." And this is actually where the suit Dead Man's Hand comes in, because when Bill was shot, he was holding a pair of aces and a pair of 8s. And that's known as Dead Man's Hand now. He's actually buried in the cemetery outside of Deadwood. He was buried on August 3rd, 1876 in the Mount Moriah Cemetery. And you can actually go there now, and there's a statue and a little plaque that says that that's where he's buried. So today I've given you information about Wild Bill Hickok, his early life, some of his jobs, how he became famous, and his infamous death. And it's kind of a toast to a legendary gunfighter that brought fame to Deadwood, South Dakota.